Hi, I'm Willie. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I hope you're finding all the tips, tricks, and tutorials that I provide for your technology gear to be useful. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you very much. Without all of you, this would not be possible. You can hear that I'm still kind of sick. So what I'm doing tonight is I'm actually going to answer some questions, and I'm going to show you some of the things that I've been doing. So I was kind of aloof later part of the week. The Thursday video did not make it out. And so let me show you real quick. On Wednesday, I was actually in Chicago, and I've got all this footage that I need to get narrowed down. I was at the Axis Experience Center in Chicago, Illinois, and this is where you can actually go touch all of the Axis gear. You can go touch all of the Axis gear before you buy it. You can just walk in off the street, and they will give you a tour of all of their gear. So while I was up there, I was actually doing IP audio training, which I'm not going to repeat the class verbatim for you, but we're going to take what we learn and expand it and learn how to use the IP audio systems from Axis. And man, they're sweet. We've been using them all over the place, and they sound good. They're easy to use. They're SIP enabled, so they work with other SIP devices. They work with Axis cameras. They also work, there's an audio bridge that I'll show you. So I'm really excited about this, but I got to get all this great footage, and the staff up there was great. Not only does Axis make, in my opinion, the best cameras in the industry, and now they're getting into the audio, but their staff is friendly and knowledgeable. So look for that video coming out. It's just, there's a lot of editing, and I want to put it together in a way that really makes sense. So besides that, then I had some work obligations, and then we are actually just crazy busy. The weekend before, I was traveling out of town and traveling, and then work stuff, and so you know how it is to be busy. But I picked a few questions here. I'm going to answer these. And so the first thing I think that I want to bring up is, we'll bring this question up. And I don't know if I can zoom in on this. And Robert asks, "Hi Willie, can you suggest free software for digital signage?" And Robert, if you watched the Raspberry Pi with digital signage video, yes, I do recommend the free version of Screenly. They still have an open source or a community edition of Screenly that you can get at no charge. So go check that out. All right. The next question that we've got, and you know what, there's got to be an easier way to get to, I'm just not seeing it here. All right. Dennis Warwick asks, or says, "Fantastic tips, thanks so much. Regarding making backups of your router config files, do you have an easy to automate and copy the backups to a Synology box? I imagine that would really be a helpful tip for many of us. Thanks as always for the great content." Then Shandmax says, "Just use UNMS. It automatically does that for you." And then Dennis says, "I didn't realize that feature had been added, and I see it has now. Thanks for the heads up." So that's awesome, but that only gets you to the UNMS server. So after you're on the UNMS server, if you use that same Synology tutorial where we backed up the Unify stuff, you could back up, you could grab those configs from, or grab the entire UNMS directory, you know, from the cloud or wherever you've got it hosted, put it on a Synology, encrypt it, replicate it, and all that good stuff. So you could do it the exact same way, Dennis. All right. The next question comes from Eric. And Eric says, "Willie, awesome video. Random question. What is the preferred setup for default gateway and preferred DNS? Should they be different? I know what the difference is and what they actually are, but I don't think I've ever learned about what a good default setting should be for preferred DNS. I know on my actual router settings within Windows, I use 2 Google DNS servers, but for Unify devices, what should I use?" That's a great question, Eric. So first of all, the default gateway should definitely be your default gateway. So if it's a USG, it should be your USG. If it's an edge router, it should be your edge router, unless you're doing some sort of weird, crazy routing things where you've got static routes and multiple routers, or even dynamic routing, but you're not using a USG if you've got dynamic routing. You could be using an edge router. So I would say that for most installs, this is going to be your router to get out of the network. Now, as far as DNS goes, there's a few things involved with that. So if you have an internal DNS server and you need the access points to look there, then you're going to use that as your preferred DNS. The preferred DNS server should be the first server that the access point goes to. So the preferred could be 1.1.1.1. It could be 8.8.8.8. Although I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying to use Google DNS. A lot of people are going to say, don't use Google DNS. And I have been trying to wind down the usage of that unless I, specifically need it. So preferred is going to be the one that you want the access point to go to first. A lot of times it's going to be your USG, because your USG, if this is a vanilla setup, your USG is handling that DNS for all the clients. And in that sense of the word, your access point is going to be a client. So I hope that clears that up. If I just made it muddier, let me know. All right. Next question is from Mr. Nope. Mr. Nope says, maybe a video about static WAN IPs. I have a /29 subnet and need one-to-one NAT, and also want to assign one IP to my private and one to my public network. Great question, Mr. Nope. So if this is on an edge router, which is where I think this came from, go back and look through my edge router playlist. There are videos that talk about one-to-one NAT, and I also talk about multiple static IP addresses on the WAN interface. So, but I am actually going to take that, and if you can wait, I'll roll that into the best practices number two video for the edge router. But I want to let you know that that video is available out there, Mr. Nope. Here's a question or a comment that I found to be very interesting. And if I don't know how to pronounce your name, Keld, I'm probably slaughtering that, so I'm very sorry. And if anybody else can comment on this, because I'm not aware of this, because what he's saying, this is on the Edge Router Best Practices video, is that with Ubiquiti's current stance against right to repair, I'm inclined to say the best practice is not using it when you can. And so I know we've seen people replace the fans in routers and switches. You can replace the flash drive in an Edge Router Lite. You can swap the hard drive out in the new Cloud Key 2 Plus. So I need to understand where this person is coming from. And if anybody has any information about what this person is talking about, please put it in the comments. Then I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last one. And Lifer78 says, I was hoping to centrally manage all my surveillance stations. Guess CMS is not made for that. Good video, though. So this was on my surveillance station video. So I actually have my surveillance station up. And if we open the application center, we can see, now I installed this, but under all, you would see CMS. You could install it. So there is a CMS for surveillance station, and you have a host server, and then you have a recording server, and we'll get into this. I do have enough hardware now that I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do some other really cool videos. So you have this, and then if you have CMS installed, the other CMS installed, then you should be able to manage that as well. They also have the CMS failover, which is for high availability when it comes to running the surveillance stations. So I hope that that kind of answered that question. So I'm on the upswing here. I think this cold's almost gone, and I want to appreciate, I really do appreciate all of you for hanging in there. I'm trying to edit that Axis video so I can get that out. And we've got a lot of cool content, like I said. I've got some stuff down here that I won't spoil the surprise, but we got some new switch gear that we definitely have to look at, so that's coming. But that'll wrap it up for now. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please comment and share. Please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you need IT consulting, go to williehowe.com. Fill out that contact form, and somebody will be with you as soon as possible. If we can't help you, we'll get you to a vendor who can, and recently we've done that. So that is something that we do. If we can't help you, we want you to have the best experience possible, so we will find a way to work that out. If you want to talk to us on Discord, the link is down below. If you want to become a patron and support the channel on Patreon, and thank you to those folks, the link is down below. If you want to buy any of the gear you see here on the channel, there are Amazon affiliate links down below. Doesn't change your price, but it does kick a couple bucks to the channel just to keep things rolling in. Once again, I appreciate each and every one of you. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.